Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 56 of Scion of the Dark House, a Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition Gothic horror podcast. Because it is Gothic horror, we are going to be tackling subjects such as blood and gore, violence, talk about trauma and abuse, child endangerment, body horror, and other such things. If any of those come up to a line for you, please take a break. Your support means a lot to us, but so does your mental health. So the last time you all had entered the chamber that held the crystal that imprisoned the Olhydra, you managed to free her after making some decisions about what exactly to do, and managed to destroy her corporeal form, where she informed Percy and Alex in a dream state that she was not, in fact, dead. She was simply going somewhere else to rest up, to gather her power back, and to come and take what was left from the Kruetzwald bloodline when the time came. The party exited to find that the overworld outside of the realm had been wreathed in a horrific storm. They decided to take shelter in the house and finally decided to go into the playroom, where they found evidence of the squidling babies, as well as a talking doll named Holly, who informs them that the key to the dollhouse was most likely in the master bedroom in a safe that they happened to find. Upon testing to see if it opened with blood magic, similar to other drawers and doors in the house, they found the safe door emblazoned with a riddle. I did send the riddle to you. However, I will read it again for the listeners, since it might have been a while since they heard it. Once upon a sunny day, in a magic forest far away, came a parade of wondrous beasts to offer the fairy queen a delicious feast. The lumbering dragon brought not a dish of blue, nor a treat of red in any hue. The treant was slow, but did not come last, bringing golden sap to break her fast. The owlbear with its uneven gait had no blue or green upon its plate. The swift chimera, usually full of spite, instead brought a cake, soft and white. And the unicorn came from a place most hallowed, so that all must proceed or all must follow. 'Neath her throne they put down their gifts. They put their gifts down, then they bowed beneath her mighty crown. And that is the entire poem, as well as 5 windows that appear to possibly be able to be manipulated. And that is where we left off, and that is where we will begin again, as you all are staring at this puzzle on the safe door.
I don't get it.
It's some sort of puzzle.
I'm trying to figure it out right now. Sometimes
There's no colors on here, right?
The windows are entirely blank, but you do see the seam where it appears it can move or be pushed or pulled or something.
Can I take one out, or is it just like I have to push it around?
As you kind of touch and begin to manipulate it, it seems to be a button that you would push in.
Rerek, do you have any? Are these buttons doing anything for your detect magic that's still up? Hopefully.
It is, but it's probably fading at this point. It's just transmutation magic. It's just entirely transmutation magic.
Okay.
How is this room lit?
Yeah.
Entirely with natural light.
So like sunlight's coming in and hitting this thing, right?
Well, it's more of constant lightning flashes, but yes.
So, judging by the
I'll cast a light cantrip on my staff really quick just to give us a better view.
It's a nicely lit room.
So, by logic of how everything is going, unicorn would have brought something blue. Fun fact. Nonetheless, assuming that each creature only brought one thing of color, then unicorn would have brought something blue. Fun fact.
Well, We don't really know the full list of colors, do we?
Yes, we do.
Do we?
It's blue, red, gold, green, white. And then actually by that, so according to this, Unicorn brought something blue, Owlbear brought something red, Tria brought something gold, Dragon brought something green, and Chimera brought something white. According to the list of it, and who brought what and who did not bring what. So
great. So got those
no
colors
idea how that
sorted
helps
out.
us, but that's how it worked. That's how it ended up shaking
Great.
out.
Now we just need to figure out what that means.
Exactly. Well, so there's five windows. How many window things are there?
There are
so
five windows.
So there's 5 windows, 5 colors, 5 creatures. So
Yeah.
And the windows do seem to be divided into 2.
into 2.
Mhm.
Okay.
But we don't
So,
really know. There's
there-
no symbols or iconography or colors of any kind on them.
There does not seem to be.
Can we do a perception check to make sure?
I mean, if you want to.
You look really close.
Very like logic puzzles, okay?
I mean, if you want, it would probably be more of an investigation check.
Okay, investigation check. I got a 5.
They kind of jiggle a little when you try and do something with them.
Like, I'll
We
turn
turn
to
it around.
Holly.
Can we, when we jiggle it around, can we like twist it and see like the other side of it?
There does seem to be a sideways movement, but it
Okay.
seems to catch on the edge of the frame that they're in, but you also feel kind of a forward movement as well.
I'm gonna ask Holly and say, Holly, when that woman was opening this, did she need to use anything else? Did she bring anything over to it or anything?
No, she just stood in front of it, and then a couple of seconds later, she opened it.
Right. All right. Well, everything we need is here.
Nothing from last either. Wait. Oh.
It's not. They're not emitting different colors of magic. They're not. Do we have any means of seeing invisibility, or
I have that.
would that
wanna
even
cast
do
it?
you know how that spell works? Would that reveal colors or anything?
Let me check.
Really quick, I'm also gonna just go close all the curtains and snuff out my light and see if maybe it's like a glow in the dark situation.
Nope, does not seem to be.
Also, I'll figure out, and maybe this has something to do with which ones came in which order. So I might do that one next. I like figuring shit out for that. Okay, so for this duration, you see invisible creatures and objects as if they're invisible. And you can see into ethereal plane, ethereal creatures and objects appear ghostly and translucent. So by that, would it be, I don't think that I would consider invisible color. Will color count for that? Because it'd be an invisible object. So the invisible object would be something that's on the glass invisible. Right? Let's try it.
Know.
I'm gonna cast the invisibility.
You do not see anything.
Cool.
Fuck. That's my down to 2 slots in for my 3rd level spells. We love it.
If I just move one to a different spot, does anything light up?
Move what?
Those are buttons, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I press a button. Does anything happen?
You push it in. You push one of them in.
Ooh.
It slides back and twists around and then pulls back, and there is a color.
Hell yeah. Oh, you're gonna make us fucking memorize shit? Is that what this is? Is it gonna go away?
No,
What color
it
does it
seems to not
show?
move.
What color is it?
Well, what?
Oh,
What,
so there's
There's
five
5.
buttons
5
that are
of
divided
them.
into 2, right?
Yes.
Oh, wait, let me figure out which ones came first, and then what we can do is compare the ones with the colors of what they brought with what order they came to the feast at. Give me 1 second, and that's our color code.
Okay.
Or I can attempt it that way. Hell yes. I hope I'm on the right path.
So what one did you press?
I'm gonna go with whatever one. I think the Chimera probably came first.
It's either the Chimera or the Unicorn.
I feel like the Unicorn's probably last after the Treant.
The Unicorn has to come either precede or follow the Unicorn.
Yeah.
So it's one or the other.
So I'm gonna guess the Chimera, which is the Dragon's first, the Tree the second, the Owlbear's third. I'll press the 4th one.
The 4th one, top or bottom?
Oh God. Top.
You push it, it twists, comes back out. It's a treant. It's a tree with a face.
Cool. That's probably not correct. We know the
That makes
4th one
sense.
on the top is the treant.
So that means Treant was gold, which we already knew.
Yeah. So we just have a treant button now.
Oh wait, shit.
You can always press it again.
Yeah, I press it again. Does it go away?
It turns to dragon.
Oh, it changes. Oh, that's the order. Okay, we solved it. We did it, everybody. Okay. Actually, oh fuck. Can I press it till it's the treant again?
Yeah, it cycles through all of the creatures in the poem, a blank spot, and then back to the treant.
Okay, we're good. We've done it.
Keep Treant the way it is.
Thank you,
and not
Alex.
come last.
And then I'll press the bottom one until it looks gold.
Yeah, it cycles through all the colors that were mentioned until you hit gold.
Hella. Okay.
And that's in the 4th window, you said, right?
Yes.
All right.
Okay, so we want to say like dragon is no, first Chimera, then dragon, then Owlbear, then treant, then unicorn. Do we want to do that as our order?
Sure, why not?
I'll try it. So I'll press the first one to make it look like Chimera. And then the second one to make it look, oh wait, dragon is lumbering. Lumbering is kind of a slow word. Do we think lumbering or having an uneven gait is slower?
Well, it says the swift Chimera usually full. Well, you already decided that Chimera was first,
Chimera's
right?
first, probably.
That means Unicorn's last.
Yeah.
Chimera's
So I guess I'll make the last one unicorn. And
yeah. Okay, cool.
So
we just need to
4th one
decide.
is treant.
Yeah. So
5th one,
first
unicorn.
is Chimera, 4th is treant, 5th is unicorn.
And then you just have 2 and 3 left.
Probably uneven gait is faster than lumbering.
Lumbering.
Does that sound right?
Yeah.
All right, then we'll do 2nd as Owlbear and 3rd as dragon.
And are you putting the colors in as well?
Yeah. So Alex, what are the colors?
Okay, so first up we have Chimera with white. Next up we have Owlbearer, and Owlbearer has red. Up next after that we have Dragon, who has green, and then we have Treant, who has gold, and then we have Unicorn, who has blue.
Nothing happens.
Fuck. Okay.
So switch it. So we're gonna switch Treant and Owlbear.
Treant and Owlbear?
Just switch those 2 orders and we should be good. Because those are 2 dependent ones.
The Owlbear, we put it 2nd.
Yeah.
Treant's lumbering. Or Treant is slow, but did not come last. Okay, I guess, sure, that could work.
Oh, fuck. Wait, no. You're right. I'm a dumbass. I'm reading this. Owlbear and Dragon, switch those.
Yeah, if I switch Owlbear and Dragon, does it work?
Okay, so
think
what
the-
positions? I'm trying to, I'm looking at the
Yes.
answer right now and comparing it to your answers.
Chimera, dragon, owl, bear, treant, unicorn.
Nothing happens.
Fuck. Is the unicorn first?
Unicorn has to either be first or last, so you should try each combination with it at the beginning and at the end.
Yeah. Oh, all right. Unicorn, owl, bear, dragon, treant. Oh fuck. Unicorn, chimera, owl, bear, treant, dragon.
Unicorn, chimera, owlbear, treant, dragon. It opens.
Fuck yeah.
Third time's a charm. Hell yes.
The safe opens, and
Love you,
inside you see there are extra boxes of jewelry, as well as a ring that appears to at one point have had a bunch of keys on it, but now only has a single key, which appears the part that the ring goes through appears to be a small little house with a little chimney on it. And you also see another recognizable item, a crown made from black stone with
Cool.
tentacles and eyeballs carved into it. A very familiar crown to you, Percy, as you've seen it before.
Okay. Well, we have this.
That makes us what? 2 for 3 out of
2 out of 3?
Apocalypse.
We have the
causing
staff and the
relics.
crown.
What do we need to give your sisters still to cause the end of the world? A
There's
cape?
like a shroud or something like that.
Also,
Yeah,
like,
it was a
what
cloak.
was wrong with your ancestors that they just slept with this thing above their heads?
Many things.
We've learned there's a lot of things that were wrong with my ancestors, Lark. So we'll slip this into Rerek's bag.
Yep, the crown just goes into the bag.
I'm guessing that the keys open up that house. Let's go check it out then, I guess.
Oh, let's also grab the extra jewelry and gems, probably.
Yeah, let's definitely do
Duh,
that.
yeah, fuck yeah. It's our
Fucking,
property.
I got raised dead, baby.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, you could probably, if you really focused on finding which were diamonds, you probably could pull out enough diamonds to cast a raise dead spell from these.
Hell yeah. Do I need to roll for that or anything?
I mean, if you want, you can roll a D100 and tell me if you get a, let's just say a 25 or lower.
I got a 72.
Then you only get enough for one casting and maybe 5 or 6 gold more.
Cool.
Not enough for a second casting. And there are various other gold bands and pearls and sapphires, rubies, other such things. I would say probably around maybe 600 gold worth of other gemstones and precious metals.
Cool.
There's a lot here. Dorothea seemed to really like her jewelry.
We can divvy that up.
Looks pretty.
All right.
It is all very well made, very expensive jewelry. It wasn't taken care of for about 450 years, so there may be some things here and there, blemishes that may affect its price, but if you give it a good clean, you could probably still get it for, you know, what they sold for.
Gotcha. So we got the crown, we got some gems. Is there anything else in here?
No, it seems
Not
that's all
there's
she
no
was keeping in
key?
the safe.
Oh, there's the key.
There was the key.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
We got the key.
Lark's got a mage hand with the key ring on it, and he's just shaking it.
Like, where's the key? Where's the key? Where is it?
Where could it be?
Where could it be?
Well, that went somewhat smoothly. Should we go back to the dollhouse now?
Yeah.
Might as well.
Let's go check out that dollhouse.
Yeah, so you head back downstairs to the playroom, and there is still the dollhouse sitting in the center of the room on the table.
All right.
Here you go,
see a
Bruno.
spot to put a key in.
I'm just gonna hand Bruno the keys off the main hand. Like, you're a brave sort.
Alrighty, here I go. So what happens?
On the side of the house, there seems to be an area that looks like it should be a bay window sticking out, but instead has the place where the glass would be is a solid metal piece, and there is a keyhole where you can stick this key in.
All right, let's go for it.
You stick the key in and turn it, and it unlocks. It seems that on the other side of the dollhouse is a hinge, and you can open it from that side.
It opens.
Seems like an entirely nondescript dollhouse. There is a kitchen, a dining room, a bedroom, an attic, as well as a foyer, and what appears to be probably a smoking room and another bedroom, bathroom. Not really anything out of the ordinary, except for something on the wall in one of the bedrooms that seems to be covered in a black cloth.
Is this one of those situations where it looks like the layout of the house we're in?
Not quite. It seems like a nondescript dollhouse, but you do recognize pieces of furniture. It was probably made with children who were familiar with the big house in mind, but it is not an exact replica of the layout.
So there's a weird thing in one of the bedrooms?
On the wall, covered in a black cloth, yes.
You know that it's magically tied to the mirror, right? Like Rerek said that there was something between the dollhouse and the mirror, right?
Yes, he did say it.
Lark's just gonna be like, Holly, do you want to play hide and seek?
Oh, who is hiding?
What are you doing, Lark?
I want you to try hiding in the mirror for me.
What if it's dangerous?
It's fine.
I don't. You can't go through the mirror, though. It's solid.
Go through the mirror.
It's solid.
Have you tried though? Go running out at full force and just see if you can go through
Don't do
it.
that, Holly.
I mean, we've gone through mirrors before. You never know.
No, we haven't.
Or was that a painting? That was a painting.
That was a painting.
This party has gone through paintings. I think a thing of stained
Couple
glass
paintings,
at one point. A mummy's sarcophagus. A panorama. Or a diorama.
A triptych.
A triptych.
Close.
We're really into art.
So,
Yeah, literally.
I'm gonna try lift. Can I lift the dollhouse?
It's really heavy, but it does move off of the table. You can get your fingers under it and kind of tip it forward.
I want to like hold it up against the mirror and see if anything appears in it.
It's real heavy, so give me a strength check to carry it
I'm about to say,
over.
Bruno, baby,
Yeah, why don't I
muscle
just do
daddy.
Why don't I just... We could take the covering off of that thing too. I thought if someone stepped through the mirror, they'd show up in the dollhouse, maybe.
Oh, let's take the let's first do. let's first take off the wrappings, and then we'll lift this bitch.
Mage hand pinch, pull the claw.
The cloth slides off, and underneath is a mirror. It seems that this mirror, you can see, has been specifically made almost like a funhouse mirror with lots of ripples in it. And it seems to have been covered with some kind of reflective foil to make it appear like a mirror. But it doesn't seem to be a perfect, flat, solid mirror. And when that happens, the mirror on the other side of the room, it's almost like you hear this roll of water as the surface begins to shift and ripple like a pond that's been disturbed.
Oh, so now can we go run at the mirror?
I mean, if you want to.
I'm gonna go run at the mirror.
Yeah, you just charge at the mirror and right through it.
Hell yeah!
He was
Lark
right.
On the other side, you see, getting books because I'm going to need them.
Lark was right. Just.
You see, there is almost nothing but desolation and ruin. It looks like it would have been a house. You stand in a place where there was some kind of room. There is no roof. There's also not most of the walls. What is left of the walls are wooden planks standing up, nailed to each other, and snapped and broken off. There is rubble everywhere. The door frames are still in place. There is dust flying everywhere. There is a screaming, howling wind. The sky is entirely dark, and your skin almost seems to crawl as you feel as though something were watching you, standing directly behind you, but you see nothing.
So I'm gonna put my head back through the mirror, as I'm assuming it's still there, and be like, y'all, come check this out.
It is a replica of the mirror, just standing there unharmed.
So I'm gonna pop my head through and be like, y'all, it's depressing out here. Come check this shit out. I don't know if I'm in the future. I don't know if I'm in the past, but just y'all come join me. I'm getting bored. And leave Holly behind. I don't think it's safe for her. Like,
okay, I'd pick her up. We'll be right back.
okay. I don't want her getting killed out here.
And you just sit her on a shelf, and she just sits there. She's definitely a lot more animated now that she knows that there are people here. As she sits on the shelf, she seems to, almost rock back and forth, just
She's a Holly on
kicking her little legs.
She's a Holly on a shelf.
See,
And
this is why I thought we should have the doll go in first, because what if that's not your cousin? Lark says after, he just says it to Percy after Alex goes back through the portal.
Yeah, all right. I'll peek my head through.
Yeah, and you
Alex
see the
doing?
same thing, and you definitely begin to feel as though there is something watching you.
What's Alex doing in here?
I'm just being like, yeah, come through. I feel creeped out here. There is something watching us. I don't know. All I know is that if I try fighting alone, I will die. So meat shields, get here.
I lean back out and like, it's Alex. I walk back out.
Just like, this fucker is this is my cousin. This fucker's here.
Yep. I'm assuming you all walk through the mirror into this entirely desolate place. You also notice, as you look around, there are tons of books all over the floor. It seems to be as many stones and pieces of wood. There are books. Some of them have been left open. Some of them have been placed face down, open. They look like they've been tossed around, but there are just tons of books of all different shapes and sizes.
Okay. Is there anything in here besides rubble?
You don't currently see anything, but you definitely hear the howl of the wind, and you start hearing whispers, just various whispers almost on the wind.
Well, I'm gonna yell out, "Hey, is anyone there? I'm gonna be sound like a horror victim. Is anyone there? Hello?"
You don't see anything with your special invisibility vision, do you?
No, I don't think so. Do I?
How long does that last?
It's an hour.
An hour. Actually, yeah, you don't see anything. There is nothing invisible.
Glad to know that cast 2 spells this episode. These past 2 episodes, and both have been failures. Good to know.
I will say, now that you have kind of been standing around waiting for a response, off not too far in the distance, something floats over the edge, rising up. It is a large sphere covered in scales, with a wide smile carved into its face, filled with teeth, a single gigantic eye, and several stalks also having eyes that begin to flick around as it floats off in the opposite direction. And you almost hear this deep mumbling sound as it seems to mumble in some sort of different language, but it seems to float away in the other direction, not even noticing you.
Do we
Let's
know
go
what
kill it.
beholders are? Do I know what
Yeah,
a
we should
beholder
probably
is?
kill that.
We saw Butler, who was sort of a beholder.
Yeah, Butler was sort of a beholder. I will say, you recognize you have fought several creatures like it that were smaller. You remember the ones that came out of the paintings underneath the illuminated way? There were little tiny ones.
Yeah.
That looked almost exactly like it, but tiny. And then, of course, Butler, who might not have been entirely a sort of beholder. I would say you probably don't know the name of it, but you would also notice that Arthur definitely tenses up as he sees it.
We've fought a surprising number of whatever these things are.
We follow it.
I guess.
There's nothing else to do unless we want to go back through the mirror and just smash this bitch. But like,
yeah, we'll have Arthur activate his primeval awareness and track it, I guess.
He kind of pauses and looks around. They're everywhere.
Like, there's a lot of them?
And he just kind of starts pointing off in various directions. They're different sizes, but they're fucking here.
I vote back through the mirror and seal this up.
How many is a lot?
He starts pointing and counting. And he kind of pauses. Those are small ones. And he's mouthing. And as you look, you definitely see him start mouthing like 21, 22, 23, 24, 25.
It's like a lot.
Yeah, a fucking ton of them.
Right.
so I have a theory of that whoever all those missing people, what if those missing people are here?
What missing people?
I'm drunk. I'm just kidding, I'm not drunk. Neither is my character, nor am I. But like, everyone that disappeared, what if they're disappeared to here? Or am I just lost?
Your ancestors?
Yeah, probably still dead, but my
I feel
disparate
like
is
they're
here.
not in the awful
I
weird
don't-
eye tentacle dimension. It's probably not where they are.
Why don't one of you learned sort look at these books and see if any of them are worthwhile?
Fair. You like reading. Not only do I like reading, but I like reading books.
My God.
Good. Now, what are these books?
I even read these books. What are they written in?
They seem to be written in common. You pick one up, and it says, The Joys of Gardening. You look at another one, History of the Straight Razor.
Yeah,
So they're
this is all
bullshit.
boring ass shit. I'm not reading these.
Okay. So there's a weird demi-plane full of a bunch of boring books and tentacle monsters.
Also, this place looks like it got blown up by a fucking nuke. Goddamn. So what are we doing, y'all? Are we following after these creature things?
I do kind of want to know at least what's going on in here. Maybe we should try to proceed carefully and stealthily.
Agreed. I'm down.
Oh, this is going to end
Health isn't my
poorly.
strong suit, but I'll try.
Roxy, the wizard, the wonderful wizard of weird tentacle monsters.
Yeah. I guess, Arthur, can you track that big one? And we'll try to stay out of sight, I guess.
Right, I'll see what I can do. So I'll need everyone to roll a stealth check.
I have a 13.
I have a
And
19.
Six for Bruno. Oof.
Oh, and then I need to roll for Arthur.
Oh, Lark
Yeah.
only got a 7.
Ooh.
Hell yeah.
The one
Isn't
time
Arthur not good at stealth? Oh no, he's a plus 11. Never mind.
I was about
Lark
to
got a
say.
7. Rerek got a 13.
Arthur has a 25.
Of course.
And Jasmine. Jasmine got a 20. Unnatural.
how the hell do I got a 19.
Dude.
How?
Cool.
Rolled high on the d20.
I mean, perhaps you're used to
Ow.
sneaking out of your dorm for
You
various
just loud mouth
reasons.
How? I'm shocked as you are.
No. Bruno is sneaking as best as he can, but his armor is kind of creaking and squeaking as he's moving along. There's definitely a lot more rubble. Those of you who rolled low, you occasionally step on a stone and it almost fires out from underneath. You also get this intense feeling that you're being watched, and it is very unnerving. But those of you who can push through, you seem to be silently moving as you get to,
And silently judging.
I'm sure, you get to a set of stairs, a very grand set of stairs that surprisingly is still intact, but is still covered with rubble and books of various types. I think it went down there, and Arthur kind of points down with the tip of his bow. You still want to follow it?
What do we think, boys?
I mean, I'm
Uh,
down.
Yeah, let's do it. What do we got to be afraid of?
Well, that thing.
I mean, but like, we just killed what's her face, Crystal bitch or whatever. So like,
Yeah,
let's kill someone else. We're unstoppable because we have the power of friendship and a fuck ton of spells and weapons.
All
But
right.
friendship.
Here we go.
You sneak down the stairs. Some of the stairs creaking, armor creaking. And you watch as this thing seems to float down a magnificent foyer with windows busted out, chandeliers dropped from the ceiling, rubble and books everywhere. It seems to have a very similar layout to the dollhouse, but is definitely not the dollhouse. You see this fleshy, scaly orb floating along, still mumbling to itself. And as it floats into a hallway, you actually see one of the chairs, a person, thick, black, shaggy hair, a huge beard, wearing tattered robes, kind of peeks out from behind it, and then gathers up a bunch of books and runs pretty quietly into another room entirely.
Like they're scared of the beholder?
They just look paranoid in general.
So did they see us or did they see the beholder?
They saw the big, fleshy, scaly
big flesh.
ball.
The ball
floating
sack.
away.
Should we
Gotcha. But they
follow-
didn't see us.
Should we follow that? Also, BRB. I should let the dog back in.
Sure.
Let's go follow the dude.
Yeah, let's follow the dude.
Because he might know more information on what we're up against. Because who knows? These things might be friendly for all we know. And we don't want to be attacking an ally. I mean, that's probably a pipe dream, but still.
Yeah.
So let's go see what this dude has to do. Also, he looks frail and fragile. If we had to break his neck, we break his neck. It's fine.
Let's do it.
The way you think.
That's why we're friends, Bruno. That's why we're friends. We like to kill people. It's fun.
Bloodlust.
Yeah, it's
Surprising for someone as small as you.
bitch. We were there together when we fought off those vampires. I can hold my own sometimes. Yeah, let's go after that dude. So we're gonna follow after that dude, the scholarly bearded dude.
Yeah.
All right. So you follow to see where he's going, down into the foyer and over into what appears to be the kitchen. It seems this kitchen is also unreasonably large. There is a whole section of the wall that's been blown out, and you see constant clouds sweeping by. It seems nothing exists beyond the house. And this man is in the center of the floor, crouched down, rummaging through his books, opening up books, slamming them shut and tossing them away before pulling other ones back, opening up and seeming to mumble in a language you don't understand.
Ah, shit.
Okay. We don't have a good view on him or what he looks like yet.
He has his back turned, but you did see that he has a thick sort of head of black hair and a huge black beard.
Okay. And this looks like a place that this looks like where he lives.
You don't know.
Should we just go up and say hi? See if maybe he just
Sure.
maybe he does know any of our languages and he's just mumbling in a different one. You never know.
Yeah, okay. Let's go say hi.
But be careful. We don't want him freaking out and like having a heart attack or something. What's up, dude?
Just looking.
We don't want to scare him. Hi.
Wait, I mean, I can handle this.
You're probably the best person for that job, Lark.
So what are you all doing as you
I'm
approach
going
this weird, crazy
to-
man?
I'm just looking up one of my spells real quick. So I'm just gonna subtle spell a suggestion. So I can only say a sentence or two. So I'm just gonna be like, so it's just gonna be like, pardon, but I really think you should stay right there and tell us who you are and what's going on here. So
What saving
I'm gonna,
throw is that?
that is going to be a wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom. 25.
Oh.
He whirls around and stares at you, and his eyes flick between all of you, and he says something in a language you don't understand as he pulls from beneath his robe part of a staff, points it, and there's a loud, thunderous explosion as he instantly casts Lightning Bolt. So I need everybody,
Cool.
since you are very close, to make a dexterity saving throw while I gather up
close.
a...
And we get Bruno's
dice.
charisma modifier applied because we're all standing next to Bruno.
That's a plus what?
I think
Do it.
it's +4.
Cool. So I have 11 plus 4, so 15.
One moment, let me calculate damage
18.
real quick. Because it's 8d6, and I only have 3d6 with me. All right, so everyone that got a 16 or lower, you're taking 24 points of lightning damage. 12
Cool.
if you rolled higher, and he is going to take this opportunity to absolutely book it.
Oh, great. Is this an initiative moment or?
I'm going to say no, because he seems to be actively avoiding combat after that. This was simply a response.
Cool. How far away is he?
I would say he was 20 feet, but he then moved 30 feet away.
So how much damage was it for not passing? Was that 24?
24
Yeah.
for not passing. And that's lightning
passing
damage.
was 12. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Gross. Lark didn't pass. That's the most damage he's taken in a hot minute.
Ooh. You also
Um,
notice that part of the house has caught fire,
Oh, good.
Of course.
as it was made of wood.
Can anybody make him
Oh.
worse at wisdom saving throws?
Well, I mean, he just demolished one of mine with a 25. So
Yeah.
Well, I still have my armor on, so that just completely destroyed my armor. But
So Rerek might actually have a spell that could work here. Because he has Maximilian's Earthen Grasp.
All right.
So let's see if the guy is within. So if Rerek can yeet after him and get within 30 feet of him.
I will say he has a movement action and bonus action before the guy gets 60 feet, as he's probably going to dash.
Okay. So I'm thinking Rerek, if he's gonna try snagging this guy in Earthen Grasp, which just makes a medium hand reach out of the ground, which is a hand the size of a medium creature. Gross. And try to grab this guy. So I need a strength saving throw from him.
He's actually going to use his reaction to cast Counterspell. What level is Maximilian's Earthen Grasp?
It is 2, but can I counterspell his counterspell?
Yes, you can counterspell his counterspell if you are within range, because it was possibly 20 feet from him, and then he moved 30 feet. So that's within, because counterspell is what, 60 feet?
Counterspell 60 feet.
So that is within, because he would only be 50 feet away. So yes, you would be able to counterspell his counterspell. And what saving throw was it? Strength, you said?
Strength saving throw. Por favor. I'm gonna Should we use one of Rerek's portents on this to stop the guy?
He rolled a 9.
Okay.
Cool.
And gets no bonuses to strength. So the hand comes up and grapples him as he has just finished casting a counterspell, only to have it blown away. And he seems to try and get out of the grasp. Is there anything that anybody else would like to do should this turn into an initiative thing?
Let me see.
I tried to charm him, or does that only work on like consensual?
No, you can charm just about anyone. I'm sure there's rules as to what can and cannot be done.
Charming is like if he's hostile towards us, we have disadvantage on it for most of them, and like I don't know, it might not be just pointing out that he shrugged off a suggestion, which was nasty. His wisdom saving throw was gross.
All right.
Yeah, he rolled a freaking 19 on that wisdom save and has a huge bonus.
Never mind that.
I'm gonna cast Bane on him.
Is that a saving throw that he has to make?
Oh, it probably is. Yeah, it's a charisma save.
Oh, he rolled a natural 20.
Rip.
So he seems to save out of that.
I can't do anything because I counterspelled, right?
That is a reaction.
It's a reaction.
Oh, okay. Can I take an action? Like, I feel like I don't want. Are we trying to fight this guy? He did just blast us all with lightning.
I don't know.
I think he's just scared.
Do I? Now that we're like looking at him, can we recognize him? Is he a person we know?
Make me an intelligence check, since I'm sure you used your movement to get closer.
Yes. That is just a raw intelligence.
Yeah.
It's going to be a 16.
He is so dirty and his hair is so big, it's hard to see any features.
Could I also do an intelligence?
Yes, you may.
18 plus intelligence plus 6, so 18, 19, 20, 21.
Yeah, it's still incredibly hard to tell. He has so much hair and dirt all over him. And at this point, I will say that we've moved forward in time a tiny bit. He's going to cast Misty Step as he seems to vanish. The mist flows away and seems to reform, and he books it 60 feet.
So he got out of the hand trap then? The grass thing?
Yes, he did.
So we're just trying to pin him down? What?
If that's what you want.
I'll fly 30 more feet and mind whip him. Give me an intelligence saving throw.
All right. 19.
Oh, that passes. He's just going to take half damage and none of the other effects. So what is this? So he's going to take 4 psychic damage, and the nastier parts only happen if he fails, and that's half damage. So yeah, gross. So I'm just going to brain blast him.
Yeah. So he's how far away now? Assuming I moved as close as possible to him on my last turn.
He would be 80 feet because he used Misty Step to get 20 feet and then he booked it 60 feet.
Could I cast Major Image to make it look like he's he's like in safety, so he stops running?
What would safety look like?
Yeah, that's the question. It's
like in another room away from us. We're nowhere near him. It's like in his mind he's thinking, oh, I made it safely to another room. has all of his books and everything, just so he can calm the fuck down and stop fucking running because I hate exercise.
You can certainly try. He's going to make an investigation check as you cast major image around him.
So this would be my bone. Wouldn't it? Because I think part of my feet I get it for because I have it as bonus on mine.
No, that's silent image that you got from a feat, and then
Gotcha. Never
minor
mind.
illusion that you get special stuff from
Gotcha.
your
I need
class.
to change that to a different. Oh,
You create this magical room around him, and you just hear, "Ah!"
oh.
And then he says something in a language you don't understand, and you don't see anything because there's this illusion blocking your way.
Hmm.
Get tongues prepared, Percy.
Yeah, I do. But he's getting away, so I guess I'm just gonna dash after him. And maybe what's yeah, I guess I'm just gonna dash action and I guess summon a spiritual weapon as a bonus action.
All right. Yeah. And you can do 60 feet with your dash action. You don't have anything special, no feats,
Yeah.
no special things with any of your items.
Oh, we have Arthur here. God damn it. I forgot to use Arthur.
Yeah, Arthur is just kind of standing there a bit confused as to what the fuck is going on. Flipping.
Have Arthur shoot him in the leg.
Well, your vision is now blocked by a
Yeah.
15-foot
Can I
cubic
have
room
Jasmine
illusion.
also dash at him?
How far can Jasmine go?
She has a movement of 50 feet.
So she can do 100 feet if she dashes.
Yeah.
I would say, yeah, you can get close to where you think he is.
Cool.
Arthur.
Oh, and then I'm gonna try to do so what my plan here is if Arthur takes an attack action, even if he can't see where he is exactly, as long as he takes that action, Jasmine gets to coordinated attack as a reaction, which can trigger her pounce.
Right. I think she can get into the illusion, but not out of it with her distance, with her speed.
Can she get close enough to hit him?
She does not see him. As she passes through the illusion, he's gone.
Great.
Okay, so I'm gonna take out the illusion then.
The illusion drops.
Yeah.
He is nowhere to be seen.
Okay.
Do you still see invisibility up?
I do.
Is he
Because
invisible?
it lasts an hour. No. You don't see anything.
Can Jasmine smell for him?
Give me a perception check.
A natural 20.
Ooh.
Plus 5, 25.
She kind of sniffs the air, and you hear Arthur, who I guess has been moving up, just relays, I guess he teleported or something. And then Jasmine growls as floating around the corner is this huge, scaly eyeball. And it turns and spots you. And now
I just immediately
it's time to roll initiative. Oof. Let me check its. Oh, yikes. And
17.
then 17 for Bruno,
Yes.
I got 16.
16 for
19 for
Alex,
Percy.
19 for Percy. Rerek, Lark, and Arthur.
Lark got an 8. Rerek got a 17.
And then what did Arthur get?
Oh, I forgot to roll. Arthur got a 12.
12. All right. So first up is, unfortunately, the giant beholder creature. So it is going to where's my D10? God damn it, where's my D10? Okay. All right. So one of its eyes turns on the eye stalk towards you. It lights up with this weird sort of bluish gray color and fires a lightning bolt towards you, Percy, being the first thing that it sees. I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
That's a 9.
Oof. You are considered restrained. As the lightning crackles across you, you see the tips of your fingers begin to turn gray. And as you begin to bend your fingers, it's harder to bend your fingers, and the tips touch together, and it feels like stone.
Uh-oh.
Jasmine, it turns its eye towards Jasmine being the next closest target. The eye turns this sickly greenish color and fires towards her, and she needs to make a Constitution saving throw.
Uh-oh. Jasmine gets a plus. I don't think plus anything to that. Yeah, that's a 3.
She takes 26 points of necrotic damage.
Whoa, that's not good.
And then, I lost my D10 again. It's actually going to, another one of its eyes glows gold. And this time it's almost like a ray of light that blasts towards Arthur, the next person who seems to be closest. And for a moment, you see his eyes go gold, and I need him to make a wisdom saving throw.
Right, Arthur, what you got for that? That's gonna be an 11.
You see the pupils of his eyes have turned gold, and where once he was holding the bow in a very defensive sort of way, he simply lowers it and relaxes. And that is the end of this thing's turn. So next up is Percy. I'm going to need
Cool.
you, let me see. What was it? Okay, well, you are considered restrained at the moment. What would you like to do?
It's been longer than an hour since I cast freedom of movement, hasn't it?
Yes, it
Rip.
has.
I'm look. So what does restrained mean exactly?
I think your movement speed is 0. and that's about it.
Cool. Am I turning into stone? Is
You
that
seem
happening?
to be. Yes, you seem to be.
Cool. Let me see if I have a few aura spells. Let me see if any of those help in this situation. I don't think so. Aura purity until it's can't become diseased, has resistance to poison damage, advantage on saving throws against effects to cause blinded, charmed, deafened, frightened, paralyzed, poisoned, and stunned. That's not, none of those is this, is it? Don't know exactly what I should do here. Let me look at one more spell.
Okay, let me see who is up
Yeah,
next
sorry,
after
trying to-
Percy. Actually, it is Bruno and Rerek, whoever has the higher dexterity, that is up next. And then after both of them is Alex.
I have 16 dexterity.
Can I use my does Eyes of the Grave? I don't think that costs any actions. I think that's just a thing I can do. Yeah, I can just do that, which just tells me, is this thing an undead?
No, it is not.
Cool. Okay. I don't even know if this spell would help. I just got anti-life shell from my class. I don't know. I guess we're just gonna keep going, and things will probably get a lot worse, and we'll see how it goes. But I'll use my bonus action to use my already existing spiritual weapon to make an attack.
All right.
Does an unnatural 20 hit?
Yes, it does.
Cool. That is 8 damage. And I'm also going to, as my action, probably cast False Life on myself at 5th level.
As you begin to cast, you feel the spell go off, but nothing happens.
Oh,
And I'm going to need you. Nothing happens.
Need me to do what?
The spell goes off. The spell slot is spent, but nothing happens. Now that is I'm assuming that's the end of your turn?
Yeah.
Make me another dexterity saving throw.
Okay. Do I have like reductions on that from it being
I don't think
restrained?
so, or at least not on this one, I'm going to say.
That's a natural 20 plus 2.
All right. You kind of, at this sort of revelation, you know you need to get away from this thing. You move your body, and as it does, the stone cracks off of you and begins to fall away. You are no longer turning into stone.
Yay.
You have succeeded.
Oh, it's the beholders have the fucking anti-magic gaze. That's
dun dun dun. So next up is either Rerek or Bruno.
I think Bruno has the higher dex. Rerek only has 14.
16.
Save
All
me,
right.
Bruno.
Sure. How can I help?
Kill the thing.
I guess I'll just double divine smite it. see
Also,
what that
I'll
takes.
like shout to the party, I can't use magic.
You are, I think, probably about 120 feet away from this thing, so you'll have to at least use your movement to get closer to it.
Oh,
Yeah, you are pretty far away.
well, I'll just throw 2 javelins then.
Okay. You can certainly throw 2 javelins at it. Give me an attack roll.
12.
The javelin bounces off of its scaly hide. Second attack.
Oh my god. 21.
That hits. The javelin sinks into this creature's skin. Its eye stalks go wild as it seems to open and shut its mouth with this strange sort of almost screaming, almost laughing noise. Roll damage.
12.
All right, let me quickly all right. Is there anything else you would like to do with your turn before Rerek goes?
Julius is going to go.
Can Julius get close enough?
Probably not. So never mind.
You can certainly use the movement speed to get closer, but...
I'll keep Julius by my side.
All right. So next up is Rerek.
Okay, so wait, magic doesn't work on this thing?
You don't know. You just knew that Percy couldn't use magic.
Percy said he couldn't use magic. Eric's kind of far back. Because he didn't run, so he's probably like the 120 feet away too.
Yes.
Oh, he can't get close enough to do that. Let me see the range on this and see if it'll work. That's, yeah. Rerek's gonna try to firebolt.
All right. As he begins to cast and flings his hand forward, nothing happens.
Ew.
His action has been spent.
Fuck. He doesn't have anything he can do with a bonus action. So Rerek's done.
All right. So next up will be Alex.
So as we've seen, nothing magic-wise goes against either onto our own selves when we're around this thing or against it. So I'm pretty much useless. I'm gonna run away a little bit farther and be a little bit farther away from him. Yeah. Let's see, wait, so yeah, I'm not even gonna waste trying to put a slot and putting like mage armor on myself because it's probably not gonna work. So I'm just gonna run away as far as I can go.
So 60 feet, what direction are you heading in?
Away from the thing. So
backwards.
So I would say if I'm facing the beholder, I'm running backwards. I'm turning tail and running backwards.
All right.
Away from it.
And you're just using dash action too?
I'm just dashing because I have nothing other than magic. And this shit's not working with magic. So
all right. Ooh. Next up is, let me check something.
So good luck, Bruno. It's all yours.
Is Arthur, who just stands there and does nothing.
Right, he has whatever that is on him.
And so next up is going to be, Let me check
Hindsight,
something really quick.
Could have probably tried
Wait,
doing.
can beholders not use magic on people within their own anti-magic field?
How big is their anti-magic field?
You don't know. Yeah. The beholder's central eye creates an area of anti-magic, as in anti-magic field. At the start of each of its turn, the beholder decides. Oh, yeah, the area works against the beholder's own eye rays. So that does mean
I
that
read
Arthur
the monster
is
manual.
is now no longer charmed, as the beholder is looking directly at him. So yeah, he is no longer charmed. So if Arthur, kind of shaking the effect off, would like to take his turn, he certainly may.
Yeah. I think he's gonna call Jasmine back because I think he's gonna just have her start running away. And then he's just gonna take 2 attacks.
All right.
The first is a natural 20.
Ooh.
The second is a 27.
27 hits. So since it is a magical weapon, let me check how that affects, how anti-magic field affects them. Real quick. So yeah, roll the damage. I may have you have certain things, and I'm not sure if the fire works. Press. Okay, for example, a +1 longsword in the sphere functions as a non-magical longsword. Okay, so the fire doesn't work, and it's not considered magical piercing damage. Spells don't work, but he will get sneak attack. And
cool.
I will say you are directly in front of this thing. So he has an ally within 5 feet. So he'll get sneak attack, but he won't get fire, nor will it be considered magical damage. So you will have to... Oh, wait, nope, never mind. You won't have to do any division.
Okay. Well, he did, together with both shots, 36 regular damage and no fire damage. And then plus sneak attack. God, where is his sneak attack?
I think it's only 1d6 at this point.
Okay. Okay, he's only 3 levels in rogue, you're right. So plus 3. It's 39.
All right. Alrighty then. So yeah, he fires 2 arrows into this thing. The arrows sink in. One of them sinks in a little bit farther. This weird, eerie kind of greenish blood flowing out of it as it once again makes that horrible noise, its eye rays going wild. And I believe that would be the end, unless he wants to have Jasmine do something.
Jasmine's just gonna dash away.
Gotcha. All right. So next up is... Gotta check something real quick because reasons. Wow, why? Okay. I need to check another spell. I am juggling so much right now. Okay. Wait.
Wait, did Lark go?
I'm probably at
No,
the,
not yet.
yeah, I'm at the bottom of initiative. Because I rolled a 2 or
Yeah.
3 plus 4 is only like a 6 or 7.
Yeah. This thing seems to phase out of existence for a moment before popping back in. And it turns ever so slowly to look up. And you see in the rubble above is this man with the black hair and the beard holding up the staff piece before whoop, popping back down. And that is the end of Weird Man's turn.
Oh, he's back? He just jumped back down with us?
Now it is Lark's turn.
Okay.
So,
So is this thing
Where is it looking now?
yeah.
Is it looking at Lark?
I think it technically, its eye, I'm going to say the eyes at the top move towards this weird person while the big eye stays directly ahead because I think it can only move it on its turn.
okay. Like I'm trying to think of like as a sometimes DM / player I know, but Lark doesn't know. He's just
Right.
seeing his friend's magic fail. Can I'm gonna fly 30 feet upwards, and
How far
Ready.
away are you?
I'm like, so I only went 30 feet after the guy before I tried mind whipping him in the first place. And then
Okay.
Percy dashed past me like another, I want to say 60 feet.
Okay.
So I'm probably like 60 or 70 feet away.
Okay, and you fly 30 feet up.
I fly 30 feet up because thanks to the official publication of Fairy, it's no longer magical flight. It's weird. I don't know. We started off with he
But
didn't
it's
have
not
to flap his
magical
wings
flight,
to fly.
but
Maybe now he has to flap his wings to fly. I don't know.
probably I would say yes.
It's annoying. So yeah, Lark's gonna fly 30 feet up and just it sucks because like I don't think he literally can't do anything. He doesn't carry weapons at all. So I'm gonna ready an action in case magic gets turned back on to cast a spell on this thing.
All right.
Is magic already back on you?
That's why I was doing math. I will say yes, since you have wings and it was magical flight for a period of time, and we were playing with that rule, I will say you can choose to flap your wings in order to fly.
Okay. Yeah.
After you get about 30 feet in the air, given your location and reasons, I will say you feel as though you do not need to flap your wings to fly.
Oh, thank gods. Or thank the queens. So I don't, okay, cool. So I was like, I'm in my player DM brain, I was like, does that put him outside of it because of the way what is it?
Geometry?
Geometry works. The way geology works. With the way geometry works, I'm going to use my flight to the best of my advantage. So Lark suddenly stops flapping and he goes, oh, I hate doing that. And he's gonna fucking cast, what do you call it? I'm gonna Eldritch Blast at this thing and aim for like the eye stalks, I guess. I don't know if I can aim or what, but I'm just gonna Eldritch Blast to hit it.
All right. I will say you're not going to be able to aim specifically, but
Okay.
I am going to say that if you roll above a certain amount, I will have you roll something and things might happen.
Okay. Ooh, one's a nat 20, and then
Ooh.
one is 12 plus 10 for a 22.
Both of them hit.
Okie dokie. So nat 20 damage first is going to be 10 plus 9 plus another, because of the brutal crit. 10 plus 9 is 19 plus 5 is 24 damage on that one.
Mm-hmm.
And the other one is going to be 8 plus 5 for 13 damage, force damage off that one.
All right. So I want you because that was a shit ton of damage, I want you to roll a single d10 and tell me the number.
8.
As you're hurling these two Eldritch Blasts, one of them hits one of the eye stalks, ripping through it as the eye falls, bouncing off of this creature's scaly hide and drops down, landing on the ground as you knocked off one of its eye stalks. Is there anything else you'd like to do?
Oh, if I can still cast spells from where I'm at, you love it. You love to see it. I'm spending 2 more sorcery points and quickening another one.
Amazing.
Yeah, quicken spell because I'm a sorcerer. Oh wait, that's not a D20. That was a D12. Okay, so one is going to be a 15 to hit. I doubt that hits.
Nope.
And the other one is going to be a 22 to hit.
The 22 hits. The first one bounces off of its scaly hide as you hit it just right, but the other one hits and sinks through into flesh.
The other one does 13 points of force damage.
Oof. This thing is definitely bleeding at this point. And is that the end of your turn?
Yeah, I'm just be like, everyone, you just need to fly away from it. Then magic works again. Oh wait, you're all pathetic. And that's Lark.
And I'm gonna yell back, being like, "Bitch, if I could use magic, I would."
Grow a pair of wings. They're helpful.
They are yours.
Now, we're quite
Interestingly, at the top of its turn, it's actually going to... It rotates slowly, its eye aiming up at where the strange man was, and it begins to float up in that general direction. It does leave your threaten radius, Percy.
Hell yeah. I'll just wait. Yeah, by my turn, we can look up reaction back. I will.
Oh, so I'm magic again.
Oh, wait. This is the beginning of its turn, though. And it gets 3 attacks. I might want to save my reaction.
All right. It does float up towards this space. It does rise all the way up, and it looks down at this particular area. And it's going to... It fires a strange purplish ray towards... My God, I have to flip between so many stat blocks. Fuck. What is... Okay. It's then going to... Oof. Yeah, it's going to fire again at the same spot. Oh dear. And now, not to alarm anybody, but can somebody roll me 10d10, please?
I might have that number. Let me see. 1, 2, 3.
I
4.
Googled it. I got 62.
Okay, never mind.
All right.
We wanted the ASMR experience of all the clattering, but Colton's a heap of joy. It's fine.
Yes, I am.
Thank you. That is helpful. And then, since... Oh, wait, whoops, wrong thing entirely. It turns, and a iridescent lightning bolt lashes out towards you, Lark. And I'm going to need you to make a strength saving throw.
Ew, I'm really bad at those. Cool. That's going to be 10 minus 2 is 8.
Ooh. So this iridescent sort of swirling energy forms around you like thin strings, and you are then yanked 30 feet through the air closer to this thing. You are also considered restrained.
A lot of restraining in this episode.
Yes. And that is the end of its turn. And so next up is Percy.
Cool. It's above me now?
Yes, it's about 20 feet up above you.
Cool. So not in touching range, unfortunately.
Nope.
Okay,
Would
then.
you want to touch it?
Yeah. You don't know me.
All right, then.
Okay, well, I guess in that case, I'm just gonna reattempt my last move and cast False Life on myself, this time at 4th level, to get some temp HP. And then I will use my bonus action to once again use my spiritual weapon to float up there and whack it.
All right, give me an attack roll.
Which direction is his eye looking? Is it looking directly down?
No.
It's looking up.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
That's a 17 to hit.
That does not hit. The spiritual weapon moves towards it, but seems to glance off of its hide. So that is that all you're going to
Yeah, I guess I'll chill sort of where I am already.
All right, it's going to use its legendary action. As the same eye that zapped Lark turns down and zaps you. So I need you to make a strength saving throw.
All these fucking saving throws.
It is a beholder.
Can't just attack me. I have the shield spell for nothing.
You're telling me.
That strength save
Mm-hmm.
is gonna be 17.
The energy begins to whirl around you, but you almost, as it begins to squeeze, you just wiggle and push your arms out, and it seems to snap almost like a rubber band. You are unaffected. So next up is Bruno or Rerek. I guess Bruno.
Yep. I mean, I don't know. I guess I'll just throw some javelins again.
All right.
Are you gonna get closer?
Why would I?
Because you're a paladin.
All right, I guess I'll get closer if that's the move.
You do what you want.
But does that use a turn if I get closer?
No, it uses your movement.
Okay, then I'll just get closer. Am I close enough to?
You're 30 feet closer. If anything, it would have just made it a straight roll and not disadvantage, but I think you can chuck javelins pretty far, so.
I'll just chuck javelins again.
All right. And you can use Divine Smite on the javelins.
All right, I'll do that.
All right.
The first one I got 14.
The javelin bounces off of its scaly hide.
Second one I got 11.
The javelin also bounces off of its scaly hide. Seems like its hide is pretty thick and leathery.
I have one more javelin. All right, is Julius close enough to attack?
I would say Julius could probably use movement to get closer. I'm not sure.
I guess we can go for that.
All right. So Julius is now closer. So I guess next up would be Rerek. Whoever's running him.
That would be me. The geriatric dog is panting right next to me. It's fine. I think he's gonna try. Rerek. He's our man. If he can't do it, no one can. What can he do? What can he do? I mean, Lark cast a spell, so maybe magic's back on. You know, I feel like Rerek's discovered that he's secretly into fisting. In my headcanon, as he casts Maximilian's Earthen Grasp. Or no, wait, it won't reach, will it? I don't think it'll reach.
No.
Because, yeah, that thing's too high up and gross. We hate it. Is anything super close to it?
Not that you can really see.
Fireball.
Okay. So it needs to make a dex saving throw.
A dexterity saving throw. Let me check this. 8 plus 4 is... Yeah, it needs to make a dexterity saving throw.
It got a 12.
Hey, it doesn't pass, so it's going to take fireball damage.
Yay.
Thanks, Rerek. How much damage? Is it 66 or...
Yeah, I think it's 66. It's something like that.
8d6.
Oh, it's 8d6. Damn.
Oh yeah, it's supposed to be bonkers. The creators specifically were like, yeah, we want Fireball to be bonkers. Yeah, it's 8d6.
11. 12, 18, 20, 22 fire damage.
Ooh. Yeah, this thing ain't looking too good anymore. As the fireball completely engulfs it in flames. Actually, I think Weirdo Man is close. And he fails. So how much damage was that?
That was 24 fire damage or 22?
22.
Well, he lightning bolted us earlier. I don't feel too bad.
Yeah, you definitely hear this sort of as the fire clears from the fireball. So is there anything else that Rerek would like to do?
This is an MMORPG, so he's gonna kite around and move away from everybody else while maintaining his distance.
Oh my goodness.
Like, it's an AoE, bitch. So yeah, kiting around.
All right. And now this creature is going to 5.
Hey.
I need Rerek to make a Constitution saving throw.
You fool. He's actually not bad at these, I think. Let's find out. That is Rerek.
Hope not. He's a wizard.
He gets +6. So wait, how does he get +6?
He's proficient with Constitution saving throws as a wizard.
Oh, I didn't think wizards got Constitution saving throw proficiency. I thought it was intelligence and wisdom.
Oh, I think it is intelligence and wisdom. I don't know why he has a 6 then.
Something's giving him +1 bonus on all saves. I'm assuming it's a magic item.
I think he does have a magic item that gives him +1 on things.
So it should be +4, not +6. Unless he has a feat randomly. Let me read his sheet.
I don't think he has a feat.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm confused by this character sheet. We're gonna say +4, not +6. Oh, that's only a 12.
So he is taking full damage once I calculate this.
If Nino comes back and I've killed his character, I'm blaming someone else.
He takes
Alex
30.
did it.
He takes. What was it that he?
That's the thing.
It's 34 points of necrotic damage.
I'll never believe
As he's
you.
blasted with this eerie sort of greenish light.
So 53 minus 34 is 19, I believe.
Yeah.
Rerek's not looking too hot, everyone.
No, he
Also-
certainly is not.
Also, Kyle, he'll never believe you if you say I was one, because he would know that none of y'all would trust me with that.
All right, so who is up after Rerek? It is Alex.
Yes.
I think you are like 180 feet away from this thing.
Yeah, so, and I can move how far?
30 feet, and then you have to use your action to move another 30 feet. So you could get 60 feet closer, but you then wouldn't be able to cast a spell unless it was a bonus action.
And what? So you said I'm 180, you said?
Yes, because you moved 60 feet away from 120 feet away from
Yeah.
it. And it's only
So-
moved directly up, so
So
you're
if I move 30 back, that would mean that I would still be too far away to cast a spell on it.
150. Anything that has a range of 150, you could cast. I'm sure you have something.
Yeah, give me 1 second to go through everything. Could be Fireball? No, that's 120. All these spells are like 120.
You ran too
Fireball
far away.
is- No, Fireball is 150.
Firebolt.
Oh, Firebolt. You don't have Fireball, do you?
Oh, no, I do.
Oh,
I do
Okay.
have Fireball.
Let's hit that guy again.
Hell yeah. Worked right the first time. So yeah, I will do that actually. Yeah. Can I Fireball. Yeah, so I'm gonna move closer, 30 feet.
mm-hmm.
And then you know what? Fuck it. Let's boost this up. I haven't used any of my slot 4. Let's move it up 1 slot. So it's gonna be a 4.
All right. So I have to make a saving throw for. I'm assuming you're just hitting it directly. You're not trying to maneuver it in
Yeah.
any.
Okay.
What's Alex's spell save DC?
Spell save DC is 14.
Okay.
They all failed.
Okay.
So they're taking full 8d6 damage.
8d6
9,
damage.
actually. Let me check. 9d6.
Pause momentarily as I write these things down. Okay. I got 5. 3. 6. Nine. Yeah. Okay. Let me just calculate these up real quick.
I'm assuming it's more than 9 points.
30.
Yeah, it's dead. As there's
Hell
an
yeah.
explosion of fire, you hear the creature make a strange noise as it just falls directly straight down, slamming into the ground directly in front of Percy. Its smile twisted almost painfully as its eye looks at you for a moment before the light behind it dies and it ceases to be functional. the eye stalks twisting and jerking for a moment before they freeze in a strange angular formations as it seems rigor mortis sets in very quickly. But you also hear an from up on the roof.
Did I kill the dude as well?
You did.
You killed him? He's
Sorry,
dead.
y'all.
God damn it. Do I revivify him? Do I go up there and revivify or not?
Can you get up there in time?
I
to
have
revivify?
flying shoes, baby.
Oh yeah, you do.
Please.
I mean, he did kind
As
of.
well.
I feel like he was trying to help us in that fight. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
we can. If we can, I think we should revive him.
Okay.
Feels sort of guilty.
This is the
killing
first
him
time I'm
as well.
casting Revivify.
Ooh. I need to look
yeah.
at that real quick because I think it's what they come back with 1 HP
I
and
believe
4
so.
levels of exhaustion or something.
I don't think I need exhaustion for Revivify.
Oh, that's raised
actually.
dead, I think.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
think just come
they
back with 1
come to life with a
HP.
1 HP, that's all it says.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll fly up there and pull out my little diamond and do my Revivify spell on him.
All right.
So
So
guilty killing him. Killing one of the main plotline characters.
he does seem to stabilize as you bring him back, but the stress, it was just a lot. He doesn't seem to wake up, but he is still breathing. Very labored breathing.
I'm gonna fly over there too and be like, should we take him out of here? Maybe.
Sure. Okay. Well, we have this guy now. Should we
can join
like
Holly.
tie him up or something?
No, don't bother. He's barely alive.
I mean, I take his staff definitely, and
Yeah.
Oh yeah, search him while he's still passed out.
yeah, let's do that.
I'm gonna
Also,
give-
can we
I'm gonna give
like
Percy the
take some
help action.
beholder eyes or something? I feel like those would be good.
Yeah.
I would say since you and Lark are up top, you can shout that down,
Yeah.
and Arthur will definitely go start sawing off some beholder tentacles, beholder eye
I'm assuming like
stalks.
the big eye is probably like
It's a
not
bit
something we
big.
can get.
Well,
You
we already
might be able
chopped off
to.
clean a stalk. So like there's already a stalk that's been like
But like the big eye.
I know, but like
It's
We'll
not
do
my
this.
fault I blasted a stalk.
Arthur will be down
Yeah.
there chopping eyes off, and we'll do this right now. So like, do we roll investigation or something on to like?
I would say,
loot
yeah,
him?
you can roll an investigation.
I'm gonna give you the help action because I'm real bad at this.
Cool. Oh yeah, you did good on the second one.
Help.
That's gonna be 19.
All right. So on him, of course, you find his staff. You find several books tucked away, various shapes of pocketbook that seem to be his spell books. As you kind of open them up, they are complete and utter nonsense, written in various different inks, of which you suspect some might not be ink specifically, but other substances used as ink.
Is it nonsense because we don't understand the language, or is it nonsense?
You don't know. It could be
Rerek,
either
do you want
one.
to cast comprehend languages on this?
He is still down
Oh,
at the
he's
bottom,
down?
so you're like tossing the
Oh,
books down to
he's
him.
just below
You
us.
also
Okay.
find a small palm-sized chest,
Okay.
replica of a chest that he's holding in a small pouch. You also notice that one of his arms is bandaged.
Okay. Well, we might need an identify spell on this little chest also, but I think for now we can probably just leave.
I really don't want to get attacked by another one of those things.
Yeah. All right. How many eye tentacle stalks do we get?
have Arthur roll a survival check.
Hell yeah, I think he's bad at these. He's a
Surprisingly.
He's a +3.
Lark did clean.
And we'll say
clean his-
Rerek gave him the help action.
Okay, sure.
Okay, it got really good on the second one. 21.
All right. I will say by the time you sort of check on his sort of beholder eye sawing, he's gotten 3 of them off pretty cleanly.
Cool.
So
You don't know which ones they are, but
can we also pick up the one that Lark cleanly
Oh yeah, we got that one too.
that one
we
is
also got
not
that one.
cleanly sliced. That one is blasted off, but the eye itself is still intact, and about maybe 10 inches of the actual stalk itself is still intact before it's just meatloaf.
And you can
So
do a
can we
lot
make-
with 10 inches, just saying.
Yeah.
Very true.
Okay. Let's book it.
Hey, Bruno.
Bruno,
Lark's-
carry the guy.
Okay, you got it.
We just literally shove a body off a
Oh my
roof
God.
down to him.
I
Ouch.
carry it down with my flying boots.
Yeah, he actually doesn't weigh a whole lot. You notice that there's a lot of signs of sort of malnutrition on him as you kind of pick him. It's very obvious. You don't even need a medicine check. Every dum-dum on the planet can see, oh yeah, you're not eating very well. So he's pretty light. So he's pretty easy to carry down.
Wonder what he's been eating.
Probably
Like-
not a lot.
You have no idea.
Yeah. Do we need to roll anything for getting out of here?
No, you just book it back to the mirror and pass through the mirror back into the playroom. Still full
Hey
of
Holly,
toys.
we brought a friend.
Still
Yeah,
with
I'm-
Holly.
I am covering the mirror up with the cloth
Yeah.
immediately.
Yeah.
As you put the black cloth over the mirror in the dollhouse, the mirror stops and becomes still and a solid surface once again.
Holly, we brought you a friend.
No, we didn't. No, this is not.
Yay!
I'm sorry, Holly. This is not for you.
Aw.
He is dangerous.
Actually, question: do you know who this person is, Holly? Any familiarity at all?
No,
I kind of like lift up his hair from over his eyes.
no, I don't recognize him.
Okay. Well, we should probably get some rest.
Probably.
We should also
Do
probably.
you want to
keep
come with us,
watch.
Holly, or would you rather stay here?
I'll come with you. Yay! Games.
Really, I
Great.
feel like-
Yeah. We can just go back to the carriage house.
All right. As you guys head out the door, presumably still carrying this guy, maybe fireman style or something, the storm still rages on. Lightning bolts after lightning bolts, continuous rolls of thunder, and heavy, heavy rain. You get to the carriage house, and you all settle down for your long rest, which is where we will end this week's episode. So join us next week as we find out what the group is going to do next.